Hello everyone, this is the series Alice in the Borderlands. People wake up in an absolutely empty city where they are forced to undergo fatal trials. The one who is pulled by the Joker leaves the game. What? After the successful game, all players were allowed to choose whether they want to stay in this world. Arisa and Usagi decided to refuse, so already in the real world, Arisa answers the questions posed. They are explained that a meteorite fell in the city, which is why people saw a red flash. Ruji is interested in maybe while they were unconscious, they had a dream of some dream, for example, a survival game. Arisa says he knows nothing. It seems to him that he had a dream about traveling to distant countries. Rugi's colleagues convince him not to put pressure on Arisa and not ask leading questions, as this can distort his memories. Ruxi is unhappy because he knows that all the meteorite survivors say about survival and salute games at the end. Colleagues believe that Ruji could inspire this idea to them, and the salute is probably a flash of a meteorite. Colleagues whisper behind him, calling him a former genius who studied the afterlife. They mention the accident that happened 5 years before, as a result of which his student died. Perhaps that is why it has changed. In reality, the world has not yet moved away from the recent tragedy. A whole area of bastards from the face of the earth, taking away thousands of people. Ruxi approaches the room where Arisa sits and meets him personally. Ruxi admires the dream of Eris and asks him to contact him directly if any other memories return to him, even if it seems delirium. At the exit, Usagi is waiting for Aris, who introduces her to Ruji. Upon learning that she was one of the meteorite that grew after the fall, he invites her to an interview, which will take place later. Returning to his office, Ruji writes out an oral explanation of his theory, looking at the screen with data about a dozen other people who talked about their near-death memories. He receives a message from an organization that is disguised as a support group, but is actually engaged in mass hypnosis. Having paid the informant, he receives a tip, which Ruji may be interesting. The next day, he meets with an informant in a cafe. During the meeting, the woman asks if Ruji is interested in the seminar, and he asks to send him an invitation. She dissuades him and warns that this is not a joke. Terrible things are happening there. According to her, people play exciting games. Ruxi is interested and receive an invitation by email next week. Ruxi comes to the place. He sees the arrows indicating the desired room. There are 6 more participants and the host. All players are sitting on chairs around the table, and Ruji drives up to them in his wheelchair, but the presenter insists that you need to sit on the table, and also asks the others not to help him and not get up from his seats. If I sat on a chair, getting up is already forbidden. Only those who won this game will go on their long-awaited journey. The first game, Old Virgin, begins. Players pull cards and are declared by the rules. If you have a couple in your hands, you must drop it. If there are no couples, the card is taken by the neighboring player. The one who has the joker Old Virgin remains in the end. The one who pulled the joker leaves the game. Suddenly, a guy is instantly killed, and the same thing happens if the player rises from his place. This is what the presenter spoke of at the very beginning. It can't be, you are playing us, right? Ruxi presents that a powerful device is hidden under their table. The game goes as much as possible, with each course of cards, less. And when the player pulls the pair, he must throw it away. And if there are no cards left, this is equivalent to defeat. Soon, all participants are removed except Ruji and another person. Rugi has a joker, Aitus. Therefore, he deliberately shows the card so that the joker is turned to the player, encouraging the enemy to take the joker and survive. However, the enemy feels the catch and instead takes another card, which leads to the victory of Ryuti, and he meets with a gang that greet him in the border region. The next morning, Anne, a player from past games, comes to work to Aris. He communicates with her as an unknown patient with post-traumatic stress disorder, but she informs him that they had already met. She is trying to make him remember what happened, and he insists that they visited another world where they had to survive. Anne admits that her memories are also quite fragmentable. Therefore, she wants to return to that world and find out the truth. She even learned a way to get to that world. After returning to reality, Usagi and Arisa got married and live happily. However, the memories of their adventures continue to appear in the memory of Usagi. When Usagi comes to the Tokyo hotel, where games were held in another world, she looks around. And suddenly he recalls the hatching speech and how many inhabitants of the Scourge were shot, which makes her confused. After Arisa returns home, Usagi calls him in tears, but does not explain the reason. She apologizes and hangs the phone. The called subscriber is not available. He runs to her old apartment, but she does not open the door, and he understands that she disappeared. An appeal to the police is suspicious that Usagi may have an affair with Ryuji, but Arisa is determined to find out what happened. He is in a hurry to the university, but they also lost contact with Ryuji. Its office is full of books and papers associated with the afterlife, and Arisa finds an interview with Usagi. On the way back to Aris, a gang is suitable, who thanks him for his help in passing the game and invites him to return to the beautiful world. To take part in the new games, he puts Joker's card in his pocket and disappears. Soon after, Arisa is calling the police and reporting that Usagi is in the hospital in a coma along with Ryuji. The police are investigating the games in which Ryuji participated, so they suggest that Usagi also participated in it, but Arisa insists that she was abducted. Inspecting her things, he finds Joker's card, and the police confirm that Ryuji also had such a card. Arisa decides to seek the help of Ken. He explains what happened and shows her a card. According to Aris, Usagi is pregnant, but she has a weak pulse, so he is ready for anything to return it. Anne explains that the human heart can stop for 2 minutes before a person really dies. Since Usagi has little time, Aris agrees with the plan of Anne. Anne introduces a syringe into Vienna, which should stop his heart. And at first it seems that nothing is happening. But as soon as he turns around, he understands that Anne has disappeared, like everyone else in this world. He leaves the room and sees an ad board on which it is written that he needs to go to the place of the game. The only well-lit place that Arisa finds is a summer festival near the traditional Japanese sanctuary. It passes through the gate, crossing the laser rays, and becomes the last registered participant. The announcement says that the team is formed and the game begins. Other people do not understand why everyone has disappeared in the city and what games they generally talk about. The name of the game is Prediction. Try good luck by stretching 10 predictions. The one who unravels predictions will win and will survive. Everyone stretches only once. 1 minute is given to predictions. Obviously, people do not believe that if they lose, they will be killed. The man Ted Sue pulls 17. In the box, there was a message with good luck. Another man, Kazoi, believes that this can be something bad. For the girl, an equation fell. There were many answers in the crowd, but she chose the wrong one and dies. Because of panic, the guy is trying to escape, and as soon as the laser detects it, it is destroyed. Satika is next in line. She has a task for probability. She chooses the wrong answer. The difference between faithful and infidels is 55, which means that there will be so many arrows in them. Due to such a flurry, many players die. The following tests were also failed. Players are getting less and less. Boy. But this aroused Varisa's lost memories. In the 9th round, it was necessary to answer how much a cow spends blood liters to produce 1 liter of milk. Nobody knows? Who can know this? The girl answered 2, although the cow needs 450 liters. The fiery cloud covered their sight. Cheyenne received the wound of her legs, but was able to survive, thanks to Tetsu, who pulled her wound. The turn came to Aris, who pulled out terrible misfortunes. Terrible misfortunes. Well, Allah arrived. What is the population of the Earth? He answered 7.9 billion. The correct answer is 8. The sky was lit up red. 100 million arrows fly in their direction. Arisa recalls that according to the rules, they need to solve the essence of prediction. As, for example, the girl read the west, not good. And from there, the arrow flew. What if their salvation is in the direction of prediction? But there is no direction in Arisa. Tetsu is not remembered about great luck. However, no one calls the northwest. So luck was there. There is a laser fence on that side, you can't go there. The answer should be somewhere here. Suddenly, Arisa saw a hidden underground passage. Together they raise the stove and are saved from the arrows. True. Not everyone was lucky. Below stood a sign with the end of the game. Now they need to go 17 kilometers to the northeast. The game will begin tomorrow at sunset. Players offer to abandon the game. But Arisa says that you cannot get rid of the game, while a huge joker flies over their heads. Exactly the same joker was given to all participants. This means they have been into this world not the first time. During the halt, Arisa says that in the past, they defeated all the cards, but they did not reach the joker. A new day comes, and the detachment comes to the meaningful place. Other players were already waiting for them there. The name of the game, Zombies Hunt. Rule. Each of them is distributed to 7 cards. These cards will play 1-on-1. At special tables in different parts of the building, you need to throw off the cards of one master. Who has more dignity cards, he won. The winner receives 1 card from the loser. The game will have 3 types of special cards. The first is zombies. She gets 1 player of each team. The zombie beats all the cards, regardless of dignity. The loser is infected and takes a map of zombies to himself. The fruit of the zombie does not give a shotgun. This card kills zombies. Every player will have a shotgun. She can kill a zombie, even if the zombie card is not laid out. After 1 use, the shotgun disappears. There is also a vaccine card. They will be distributed randomly. It cancels the zombie map, but you can't cure herself. It is necessary to stop the reproduction of the zombies. The game will end through 20 rounds. If the player does not have numerical cards, this is a defeat. The team with a large number wins. Zombies or people. There will be 4 teams in total, 1 zombie inside. Players disassemble their cards. To choose the enemy, you need to touch a person. Arisa wants to find people who have a vaccine, and while he studied other players, he noticed Usagi. Since they can't choose games, they can fall against each other. A couple of players survive to the very end, and most likely they will have to fight against each other. In one of the rounds, Arisa guessed that zombies were sitting in front of him, and promises to cure her. She needs to join their team and wait for the appearance of the vaccine. Fortunately, she decided not to infect him. I don't like the Kaza that they are zombies with them. It's better to just shoot them. Rei appears. She has her own plan. It is necessary to collect a group that promises to treat each other with a vaccine, and after the cure, threaten the one who infected them. This will scare away from the group of other zombies. For example, if a zombie has a vaccine, and he promises to cure another if he becomes a zombie. He admits that it is a zombie, and literally sets a sight. He will have to keep his promise not to be killed. It remains to convince all owners of the vaccine to enter them. The problem is that no one knows how many vaccines, and they may not be enough. It is important to convince other players that they are enough to save everyone. If you do this, the zombies will not climb to them. Rei admits that she is a zombie, and she has a vaccine. Arisa passes through other teams and spreads their plan. After a while, their detachment increases. They even tell each other about their cards, and do not allow losing numbers so that none of them definitely die. And the zombies will play against each other. Kazui had slightly different plans. He finds out who is in other zombies in the other teams, and kills them. In breaks, Kazui beats alien players, with the order to give out zombies. But this makes the zombie unite. Masata returned from the round in the status of zombies. And Kina, a fan of eliminating a zombie, wants Nobu to kill an infected zombie. Arisa is categorically against eliminating other people. It amuses a man, as if Arisa had never done this before. Arisa is knocked down and forced to eliminate the zombies of the player. Another zombie saw this, and since he has no protection, he will infect him. A little later, the zombies were caught, and he said that he infected Nobu, but he did not say anything to his team. This means that among them there may be other zombies. Some of the people thought that Rei is a spy of zombies. They cannot be sure that she has a vaccine, and Kina wants to eliminate his zombies. Masata gives the tar, but it is caught up, and Rei chews for a new game. In this round, Nobu and Arisa played together, and Arisa has a plan. Masata dies, but Rei was not a zombie. 2 rounds remain. Arisa knows that the zombies will win in this game, and he wants to save Rei, having infected her that she did not expect at all. The team of Arisa also became zombies. In the final round, Nobu saves the incident. He thought that he was killed, but he was saved by life. All people are being left. The next test will be in 2 days. At a halt, Kazuha asks for forgiveness that he was aggressive to Nobu. As for Ryuji, in their game, people had to evade fast lasers. That Ryuji gets perfectly. He gets